G'day folks. What we've got here is a fairly ordinary old Lima wagon, and I'm going to attempt to give it a different identity, I suppose. So I'll do it with some artist's acrylics, and we'll see how it turns out. Okay, I've got some Joe Sonia brown earth here, which I'm going to put into my little mixing tray. I'll just put a bit too much in there then, and it's always good to have a plastic tray because you can mix around in there, and you can also wipe off the excess paint. Now I've taken the roof off this wagon and the chassis, and I can get my fingers inside, and it's much easier to hold it that way. And the thing that we've really got to worry about here is the lettering. So what I'm going to do is attempt to cover the lettering with heavier than normal amount of paint, and we'll just see how that goes. So we'll just add paint quite liberally around here, and I'm following the line of the planks so that this paint, even though it's a bit shiny and streaky and whatever now, will leave, the brush will leave lines in the paint that sort of simulate timber grain, I suppose. Now I'm painting everything here, even the steel at the moment, the steel bracing. So we just want to cover everything up, and what we'll have to do is, once this is all done, leave that to dry. And unfortunately we're in rainy weather here at the moment, so it might take a while to do that. Okay, I've got both sides done now, and it's effectively hidden the lettering, but it's still wet. And now I'm just trying to decide on what colour to do the ends. They've got a sort of a corrugated metal end, so I suppose we should try and do something metallic on there. I'll just have to see what I've got and see what I come up with. So just bear with me while I do some thinking on that choice of colour. Right, I've decided to go with a grey for the metal ends, and what I've got now is I've got some poster paint, and I've put some white in the mixing tray, and I just want a little bit of black. I want to make this sort of dark grey colour, and I think that'll look pretty good on the end. And we'll see how, you can't see what's going on there, but yes, it's coming up fairly well. A nice dark grey would be good. I'm wondering whether to just add a dot more black to that. Actually, that looks pretty good. We'll see how we go. Okay, we've got to be a bit more careful with this because we're placing it now in between two colours. So when we get up to the edges, we'll have to be fairly careful with how we approach this. But again, it's just following the line of the corrugations and just brushing it on quite liberally. Now, I don't know whether you can see that, but this side's nearly dry. This is, you know, we've only been doing this for 5 minutes or so, between 5 and 10 minutes, and it dries very quickly. But because of the weather conditions, the best thing to do now is just put it down and walk away. Let the thing dry properly, and then we can come back to it and start working it a bit more. There's the chassis to do as well. There's a fairly ordinary chassis, and it's got some old pivoting tension locks there, which aren't very good. I was thinking that I might be able to pop those out and then put a small backman in there. Yeah, but this chassis will be given a coat of matte black paint, and the buffers will be cleaned up and all that sort of thing. And also the roof is okay, but it could do with a bit of treatment, I think. And just a new surface on there to work with and dirty up a bit.